Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I am Amy Williams, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Welcome to my craft room. I hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. It is Sunday, May 26th, 2024. Thank you so much for joining me. It is Memorial Day weekend in the United States. So we thank we pray for all those who have lost their life in military service, and we pray for their loved ones. We thank you for your service, and that is a pretty. I feel like we get caught up in the Memorial Day sales, but we don't truly remember. So we in our house really do try to remember that on this day. So we thank you for your service. But we are going to do some fun stuff today. We are going to get a little crafting done. I'm really excited about this. Now, this is a ribbon buster. Like, this is going to use ribbon. So if you're a ribbon hoarder, then this is going to be for you. Okay. Cause I might be a ribbon hoarder, or just a hoarder. Yeah, I might just be a hoarder when it comes to craft supplies. I hope that some of you are the same way. So let me flip the camera and show you what we're going to do today. All right. We are using our Thoughtful Journey paper. All right. And so here is the card. Well, a version of the card that we're going to do. I don't ever do the exact same card. We're going to use a different ribbon. We're going to use the same paper. We're going to use a little bit of different sentiment, but that is the card we are making today. Don't leave, because at the very end, I have some other ones that I made. So make sure you don't leave. Okay. So we are using this Thoughtful Journey paper. Okay. And let me put glasses on so I can tell you, you can see all the colors right there that are in it, hopefully. Okay. And this is gorgeous paper. This is just absolutely, in my opinion, stunning. And I love designer series paper. If you don't, well, you do now, because I love designer series paper. Now, I will say what I really, really, really wanted to use was Petunia Pop ribbon. And you know what I don't have? Petunia Pop ribbon. I ordered it on our free shipping day, but it is not here, and I couldn't wait because I was a little bit anxious to get started on this. So we are going to get started. Okay. I want to see, do I have a glare? It doesn't look like. Oh, I do have a glare. Gosh darn it. Okay, let me add a piece of paper so that doesn't make us all crazy. Okay, I don't want to make anybody crazy. All right, so let me set this right here just so that we don't have a glare. Okay, now we're going to be cutting this designer series paper that is a 6x6 paper. We're using the same one. Okay, so I've got this 6x6 uncut piece of paper. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut it down a bit. And I'm thinking, I want to think about where I want this ribbon cut to be, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off right here, kind of like I did before, because I want it to kind of come through here, all right? So I'm going to do that, but I want as much as this gorgeous purple paper. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut it at 4, okay? So I'm going to do 5. It's going to be 5 1/4 by 4, all right? And I may end up having to cut it a little bit more. That's okay. I'm going to take a bit off the top. I'm not going to take a ton off the top because I still want to have some of that, the sky. And then I'm going to cut this to 5 1/2. Okay, I'll cut it right down here. So then I'm left with this right here, and it is 4 1/4, 4 by 5 1/4. Now, I'm going to cut at 1 1/2. Okay, that's going to be where I cut. And I'm going to do another cut like that. And I've got this like this. All right, so that is my cut. All right. Now, let's see. I'm going to move these out of the way. I don't want to get rid of this because, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to cut this. I actually think that goes like that. Yeah. I do want to do one more piece for the inside. So I'm going to cut this at a 1/2 inch. I'm just cut a 1/2 inch. right there. Then we've got some of this beautiful purple and yellow, and then I'll cut it at 5 1/4. And that's going to be for the inside piece because we want to have a little bit of decoration on the inside. All right, we're just going to set that aside for now. We're not going to set it aside. We're going to go ahead and put it on. And mainly because I am so afraid, this piece of paper already has something on it, and I want to make sure I use the back. So if I go ahead and put this on the front, then that is the front, and I don't worry about ruining that, all right? That's, that's the beauty of two-sided paper, that you can, make sure you use it. But again, I don't want that to be on the front. I want it to be on the back. So now I'm ready to go. Okay. All right. Now for this. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to set this on our mat, and I want to get it to where you can see said mat. Okay. And I'm going to zoom in because I want to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a little bit of tape on the back of both of these. Okay. And then I'm going to kind of go like this. Okay. I don't want this to be like super sticky. I want this to be that it'll come off. So I'm going to use my grid paper, and I'm going to put it right there on my grid paper. I'm going to do the same to this. And you can actually kind of see that it gets less shiny when you do that. Okay. And then I'm going to make sure that this is the other half, they match. And then I'm going to go an inch or 1/2 inch over. Okay. Now there's not going to be a 1/2 inch, here on the card. Okay. But for my ruler purposes, I'm going to do that. And so I've just got this ruler here. This is, seen its better days, but this is just my ruler. And so here's what I'm going to do. All right. So I did a little bit of math. Okay, and the first time I did this, so I'm kind of putting this to where it is in the middle of these two. And I'm going to scooch it down. Do you see how I did that? So it's just kind of in the middle of these two, so that I've got like about, I want to say, 1/4, let's see, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 3/8 of an inch. Okay, 3/8 of an inch on each side. I felt like a 1/2 inch to put these little dots was too little, and a 1/2 inch was too much. So I'm going with that. All right, so I'm going to take my first little tick of this is going to be at 3/8 of an inch. Okay, and that's where I'm going to put my first dot. Then I'm going to slide my 1/2 inch over to that little tick, and I'm going to tick at every 1/2 inch. All right, and I know that it's hard to see. All right, it's much easier to see on white paper than it is on here. But you see, then I've got this a little bit, they're kind of happy. Okay, so then I'm going to take this and I'm going to turn it around. All right, so that it's kind of line those up. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, right here. Let's see. Smooth that just a little smidge. It's going to be 3/8 of an inch here. Then I'm going to slide that over and do 1/2 inch at each one. Okay. Wait, 4 1/2 1/2 1/2 1/2 1/2 1/2. And then you've got all these little tick marks. Hopefully you can see, you can't see that, but hopefully you can see them. Okay. All right. Now what I'm going to do is, now if you have this piercing mat, you can use that. I don't like all these holes in there. That made me cry, and I couldn't do that anymore. So I'm going to use an eraser. Now I have the absolute perfect eraser for this. It is about this big. Okay. It is huge. It is white. It is wonderful. I've had it for a million years. I've been moving it, and using it all my life. And well, no, I haven't used it. I don't use it very often. But when I do need it today, it is in a very safe place, very safe, which is nowhere that I can find. Y'all, I have torn this craft room apart. I cannot find it anywhere. I will find it, I guarantee you, as soon as this video is done. So we are going to use this little one right here. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to zoom in here, and I'm going to take my little thingy, my little piece of paper, and I'm going to use my piercing thing. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pierce this in here and make a little hole in each one of these ticks. Okay, and if I had this beautiful white one, I would, all right, there's that. Hopefully you can see. All right, there's one. There's one. Oopsie. Oh, it stuck to it. All right. There's one. Sorry, and there's one. Okay, so you can see I have all these little holes across. I'm going to do the exact same thing with this one. And I will admit this paper is a titch hard to see. I got to make sure I'm getting that, right? No, I didn't. That was not it. Huh. All right, there it is. I think these are really hard to see because this paper is, part of it is pencil lead. Oh, there it is. I see it. Don't get your finger. Okay. Not that I have done that. I have. But let's be honest. I have. Okay. So there you go. I think this one was wrong, but you know what? I think it was supposed to go there. I do think it. I think it does go there. Oh, well, we'll see. It's all good. It's all good. Don't worry. Okay. Okay. It's at the bottom. It won't matter. Okay. So then I have this. Then what I need to do is I'm going to zoom this out a little bit. Let's zoom it out. Okay. I need to make these holes bigger because this really isn't big enough. So I'm going to just take my little tool and then I'm going to push them on there. Now I'm putting 2 fingers like here and going between it just so that I don't have too much, so it doesn't bend the paper too much. Okay. And you can do it this way too if you want, whatever way you want to do it, whatever works for you. Just try not to have too much bend in that paper, right? And then we'll just do that one. Okay, like that. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. All right. Let's see. It's really important to have these big enough because if they don't, it's hard to get the ribbon through. Okay. Now so there you go. I've got these 2 strips just like this that have holes down the side. Okay. Now I am going to use this time. Last time I used the pool party, I am using this pretty peacock and gold ribbon because I just think that's going to look lovely. It's going to make the card totally different. Okay. So I'm going to trim that real quick because, get those scissors. Hold on. I'm going to trim it. Okay. Well, all right. And I am just using this needle right here. This is actually in my, with my knitting stuff. Okay. It's a clover needle. Okay. And it comes in a 2-pack. And obviously I have more than 2 in here, because I lose them and rebuy them often. Okay. You can get them in the, usually the yarn section of, Hobby Lobby or something like that. Or yeah, I think that's usually where I get them, but maybe in the, sewing section. Okay. It probably is in the sewing section. So you're going to go through here, and I don't get the one in the one in the blue or larger. They're an orangey color. These are smaller. So I think that works well for this. All right. So you're going to pull it through here. Now you want to get yourself a good amount. Okay. Because, I'm probably don't even have enough. Like, I'm just going to be honest. I'll probably have to pull and play a little bit. Okay. So you're going to go through the first one. Then you're going to go through the second one of this. You're going to go down. Okay. And you're going to pull it through. Okay. And you want to make sure that it's not twisted in the front. Okay. Do you see how that's kind of twisted there? I don't want that. I want it to be, I want that nice little thing. Now, I'm not going to have them really far apart, but I don't want them too close together. So I'm kind of judging right there. That's kind of my beginning, okay? So now I'm going to come up, okay, on the third one. So you're going to be skipping one each time. So I'm going to come up here, okay. Yeah. Okay. I got that. Come on. There we go. This. And then I'm going to go down. I'm going to skip one and go down. Okay. Skip one and come down. And then see how that's got that little twist there? You don't want that. Okay. Don't say I'll do it at the end because it doesn't work as well at the end. All right. Skip one. Come up the next. I'm really, oh, Amy, good job. Okay. Let's be careful, which I didn't, obviously. I wasn't very careful there. Okay, so I'm going to pull this a little bit farther. Okay, again, I want to make sure I've got a little bit of room. Okay, and we're going to go down. Skip one and go down. Okay. Pull that. This is all twisty. We don't want it all twisty, okay? All right, and we're gonna fiddle with this in a few minutes, so don't be too concerned. Again, skipping one and coming up. Okay. Oh. All right, let's pull that. I'm gonna untwist this again because it gets a little twisted. All right, and then I'm gonna go down, skipping one. Okay. Isn't it great when everything just kind of doesn't go as planned when you're on camera? I don't know if any of you are people that do stuff on camera. Maybe you are better at it, but I get all tongue-tied and all bloop. So, okay. All right, so I'm gonna skip. Sorry. Skip this, go up here. And then I'm going to go down this one. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to go up the one. Now this one I go right across, okay? Because that's all there is. Right across. Okay. And then we're going to go down. And basically all we're doing is going into the ones that are empty, right? All the ones that are empty are the ones we're going to do right now. I'm going to go up this one. And this one. Do that little untwist. Okay. Come on. See if I can find it. Okay, there it is. Up and down. It's okay. It doesn't look perfect yet. What a totally different look between just changing the ribbon of this piece. I think that's kind of pretty cool. All right. This. Oh, get that twist. Whoa, that's a big old twist. And you really do not want that twist. Okay. And then I'm going to do this. Let's see. I knew I would do that. Let me make sure. Hold on. I'm gonna undo this. I think I went actually through the actual yarn or actual ribbon there, so I don't want that. So I'm gonna pull that up. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. Okay, we're gonna do that one again. Sorry. All right. Let's do that. Since I'm having to put it in, I'm gonna have to do another little clip off. All right. So I'll put that in here. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. I'm gonna go up here, maybe. Oh. All right, up here. Try that again. Okay. And then down. All right. So both of these are on the back, which is perfectly fine because we're going to fix that in a minute. Now I'm going to look at these and I'm going to kind of play with it because I do not want it to where it is like this. okay? That's too tight, all right? I want some spreading. I want them to be spread. So I'm gonna kind of play with this a little bit and pull these to where there's a little more room for them, right? All right, because now they pull apart. Well, they don't really yet. I gotta get a little more. Let's get a little more. Okay, we're gonna pull from both sides here. Okay. And then we're gonna pull this a little bit, and this a little bit, this a little bit, this a little bit. I know it's a little fiddly, but I really do love the effect. There we go. See, now they're going to go apart. This one I think needs a little bit more. I think he just needs just a little bit. And there we go. Okay, so that is like that. And then I'm gonna, let's see. Again, I want to fiddle a little bit because I want it to look cute, right? I do want cuteness. I think what I'm doing is maybe needing to pull. I'm not really sure. That's what I needed. That's what I needed. Right there. There. Okay. So that pulled that way. And then I added that. All right. So I'm not too worried because it does spread. Okay. That's my concern. When I put it down, it's going to be just fine. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these, and I've got this, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to snip it. Okay. And then I'm going to take these and I'm going to pull them through the top, just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to make my bow. Okay. Now, if you don't want to make a bow, or maybe you have a ribbon that you're afraid is really going to fray, you can absolutely tape it down and have it like that. And that might look absolutely gorgeous. Okay. That would be beautiful. Okay. Well, I've got a lot of ribbon here, so I'm going to make the bow. Okay. So, but I think you could absolutely do that. And maybe I'll get another card going and do that, because I think that's really pretty. In fact, I have one cut that I might do that with. We'll see. Okay. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to make a bow. Okay. Just like that. Make it a little smaller. Pull it. Make it a pretty little bow. Okay. Like that. Off. Okay. That, and then I'll snip that off. I hate wasting, so I'm going to tell you this little piece right here will be used for something. I will not waste that piece of yarn. Okay, so there's this. Now I need to think about my sentiment. I'm going to use Sweetly Scripted because, y'all, I love Sweetly Scripted. If you don't have this, I think you should run right now and go buy it, because it is a very, very easy stamp set to use. It's got everything in it, and I think you should use it. Okay, so let me go ahead and zoom out a little bit. Okay, I'm going to get rid of my ruler. Okay, I'm going to stop that from shaking. Okay, I'm going to get rid of my little needle, my pencil. I've got Pretty Peacock open. Y'all, I am just using a scrap of white, okay? Just using a scrap of white. I'm going to use Pretty Peacock here, okay? And I'm going to do Thanks a Million. Boop, there you go. Okay. And then I think this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this like this. Okay, and then I'm going to cut down the center just a bit, like that. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to cut this way to the center, and this way to the center, and then I've got my V. Okay, well, no, it doesn't look very good, does it? Because I really didn't do the center, did I? All right, there we go. Okay, Try this again. Let's do it in the center. Like that. And then like this. And then like this. And then I've got that. But that's too long. Oopsie. I did that so well and it's too long. So we're going to try it again. Okay. Let's cut a little piece here. I'm going to try to get as in the center as possible. Okay. And then I'm going to go from the corner to that center. And from this corner to that center. And since this is what I have to do, since I don't have that thing. And then I'm going to do thanks a million here. Now, I actually have cut out, I just punched a circle because I felt like it needed a little bit more purple, okay? So I'm going to put that circle here. And if I wanted to, I could add, oh, I also have this little circle. Let's see, what do we think? Do we like that? Oopsie. Do we like that? Or just the purple? I think I'm going to do just the purple, and then maybe I'll see if I can find a jewel or something. So let's put this down, okay? And I'm putting it in a place where I'm not covering any of my purple flowers because they're so pretty. Now, thanks a million, I am going to put some dimensionals on, okay? One, let's see, make sure I'm still in the camera. 3, okay. I'm going to do that. I'm not going to put this on yet. I'm going to wait till I have that on the card. So now what we need to do is we need to see if we want it on a purple card or a pretty peacock card. And I have both options available. Here would be the purple. Okay. And then here would be, let's see, the pretty peacock. And I actually think the pretty peacock makes that purple stand out. So I definitely think I'm going to do the pretty peacock, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and fold this, go up and down, and use this, okay? Then I'm going to do this. I'm going to add the dimensionals to this, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this in just a second, okay? I'm going to be pretty generous with my dimensionals, which is not something I usually am. I'm not usually like, get them on, get them on. I really think you need to be pretty good about this. And then again, you do not get rid of this, okay? Let me not have that on there. All right. Oh, my shirt's kind of a light pretty peacock. That's kind of funny. I realized I think I've worn this shirt before when I was doing a video. And that's probably because it's not like not one of my favorite shirts. And I have a really bad habit of ruining clothes on videos when I'm stamping. All right, so I'm going to add these. I'm going to add this in the middle. Oopsie. Here. And I'm going to add a couple here. And then one in the center. Okay. Now, I'm going to take these off like this. I never do this very well, but I always try. Oh my gosh, y'all. I always want to be able to do this better, but I can't. Look at me. I'm just a mess. I'm a mess. But I'm almost out for the summer, y'all. I'm a teacher. I'm so excited. I'm a librarian, so I have 2 extra days. But after that, I am out for the summer, and I'm not going to lie, I am so excited. As I said, my husband and I are going to Alaska. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm going to put this on. I'm only putting this side down, okay? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I'm going to go give it a pull, and then put it down, okay? Give it a little pull, and then put it down. All right. And the reason I didn't put that other one on until this was on, because normally I say finish your card. I didn't want to have it down and then give it the pull and this pop off. Does that make sense? All right. So then I can put thanks a million, and I'm going to do it here so that it doesn't hurt my thingies. Okay. And then I think it needs some jewels. Okay. Now, let's see what we have, okay? We're gonna open up the file of jewels that Amy has. and see what we want to use, right? Now, there was this really pretty one that I saw that I thought we had gotten rid of. This one. Look, this did not retire. The Purple Fine Shimmer. Let's do some Purple Fine Shimmer, right? Because, hello, it's this. And this to me, this looks good. This one right here. These don't, but this one down here does. So let's get this out. Okay. And let's add some shimmer to it. I'm going to use a bigger one over here. Okay. Let's use this here. Let's do, I think I'm going to do 2 there. Let's do 3 on here. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to do a big one right down here. And there you go. Oh, I think that just added to that. Okay. So here is my card. Oh. I've got to put on the inside because we definitely don't want to forget that. So let's open that up. Now, if you wanted a bigger border around the outside, you could have made that at 3/8 of an inch, or 3 3/4, and you would have had a little bit of a bigger border there. But I just want as much as this as I can get. So like that. Okay. So here's this one. Now look at the difference between these two. It is the same piece of paper. I changed the ribbon and I changed the background. I didn't put any jewels on that, but by golly, I'm gonna, because they're so pretty. Where did they go? I lost them already. No, I didn't. Okay, they're right here. Let's add those jewels to this one because I think it needs it. I did a little bit smaller circle over here. I did a little bigger over here. Again, you know, you just want to kind of do an odd number. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 right here. Okay, so there's that. Now, different ribbon, a little bit different, but same paper. 2 really pretty different cards. Now, I also, in this one, had another piece of paper that I did, and that is this one right here. This is some Calypso coral ribbon that we had. I think it's retired now, but if you have some, you can use that. I did that on the inside. I thought that was a really pretty card. This is Petal Pink. This is this paper from the exact same set. Look how different that looks, but so pretty. Now, I also say you're like, I don't really want to use designer series paper, Amy. I don't like designer series paper. Well, you know what you can do? You can do that right there. Okay. This was with Everyday Details. I use that stamp set and the circle, and I love this as well. I mean, these are totally different, but they're all the same, right? It's like different, but the same. So I hope that you have a fantastic day. If you're in the States, enjoy your Memorial Day tomorrow. And I will try to get a video done for next week. I will try to get one for the following week as well. I'm not going to absolutely promise that, but I'm going to really, really, really try. So have a fantastic week. Thank you for joining me. Bye.